It's the prompt Dee Snider standing by.
There he is.
15 interview.
Look at that. Right on time, D. It's Tigman here from the WPDH studios. How are you? What's happening?
Everything, brother. Everything.
We got Dee Snider, legendary frontman for Twisted Sister, with us on the phone. Good to talk with him again, and good to see he's coming back to Poughkeepsie with his solo band. You're going to be at the Chance this Saturday night, D, with Kill Code, Amanda Ayala, and the Midnight Glory, and Freak Switch. Going to be a full show, and you're supporting your solo album you put out last year called We Are the Ones. Tell us about the solo album and how you decided to go about putting that together.
You know, when Twisted retired, it was retiring in 2016, there was this assumption that by many that, Dee's retiring. And we retired in November 2016. In October 2016, I released my solo album. And people said, whoa, what? I said, I didn't say I was retiring. I just said that it was after 40 years, we felt it was time for Twisted to retire.
Right.
And the thing about being a Twisted, and I love the guys. I'm seeing them. We're getting together for dinner and whatever, and it was a great time. But it was restrictive in a lot of ways. So here with We Are the Ones, I could take some chances. I could do some things I couldn't do before. I mean, hell, I do a cover of Head Like a Hole with synthesizers, and it's a powerful anthemic song, but I could never do that in Twisted Sisters. So I definitely get to have some fun.
Dee covering Nine Inch Nails. That is awesome.
It's a great moment in the show. People love it. I mean, at first they go, what? And then they go, yeah. Because in its own way, it's as anthemic as We're Not Going to Take It.
Well, I'm excited to see the solo show because, when you weren't doing your thing with Twisted back in the day, we're talking back in the late 80s, early 90s, I used to love going to see it. It seemed like every year you'd be coming to Poughkeepsie the chance for an SMF show. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I did things with SMFs. I had the Widowmaker for a while. Right.
But now, and I want to sort of point out to people, you may have noticed the shows get fewer and further between. I literally right now have 4 movies in different stages of development, a children's animated show, a game show, and a television show, and a show in Vegas, all in various stages of development as producer, writer, performer, actor. And so my goal is not to be out on tour and not to be on the road for the rest of my life. Now, unlike Alice Cooper, who once told me, I look forward to singing I'm 80. And I said, God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
I'll come see you.
Right.
But I'm not looking forward to doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So I say to my friends, I haven't been here in a while in the tri-state. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I don't call you old fans. I call you original fans. You came with the music,
right?
And you probably still are. And so, but I don't know when I'm going to be back. So, and it's not like I'm dying. I'm not dying. I just do a lot of other things.
Well, good to see you're keeping busy, Dee. You're talking about these movies and projects. Will we see a Strangeland 2? A lot of people ask you that, I'm sure, over the years. And they've asked you, and I've had a bunch of people that hit me up on Facebook when they heard I was going to be interviewing you, and they're like, will he do a Strangeland 2? Is that in the works?
This is an on-again, off-again situation that has been such a frustration to me. But I'm happy that with the production company I've started and with all of the movies that I'm working on and developing, things are moving forward with the Strangeland sequel. It's called Disciple. It's not in production yet, but me working, doing all these other projects and creating an energy for my production company, which looks like it's finally going to allow me to make Strangeland 2, which is the movie I've been wanting to make for so long.
And you mentioned Widowmaker earlier. I loved Widowmaker in the early 90s. 92, you put together that metal band, Widowmaker. Al Pitrelli was with you, right, in that band?
Al Pitrelli, Joe Franco.
Yeah.
For the Good Rats, from the tri-state area. And then Mark Russell was our bass player, English bass player. He had 2 albums. It didn't really click. And then we all moved on doing separate things. I mean, Al Pitrelli is one of the masterminds behind the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Right.
So that's what's his baby. So, Widowmaker was a great moment for us, but it's a moment that's passed, I think.
I gotcha. I want to mention, I saw you last year, your last New York area appearance for Twisted Sister. And I don't know if you want to talk about it, but the show was awesome. The Rock Carnival in New Jersey. You killed it in the pouring rain. Just a great show. There was maybe talk of that being filmed for a DVD, but I think there's other issues going on regarding that music festival, which we don't need to talk about if you don't want to.
I think they're in court today.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're actually in court today.
Okay.
JJ's in court. There was the lawsuits going on.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't pay the band. It was a great show. Regrettably, it was a rainy weekend, and people like you, such dedicated fans, were out there in the rain. It was not the Mother Nature was not smiling on the metal community.
Definitely not.
That said, but as far as filming, for the 40 and F-It final shows, we did a lot of filming throughout the entire run. Huge shows throughout Europe and around the world, and there is and I know that there is some special products, a special DVD, I should say concert video in the works of the final tour. When JJ French JJ will be putting out product for the next 30 years. It's amazing. Where did you get that, dude? He finds stuff I didn't even know about.
Right?
There's a camera there. But he finds it. If there's a camera, he finds it, and it's great. It's great to see this stuff being available.
We're speaking with Dee Snider of Twisted Sister. His solo show is this Saturday, November 4th, at the Chance. You're going to want to be there. You're playing stuff off the solo album, of course, and we'll hear some covers and Twisted Sister classics, I'm assuming, right?
Twisted? No, I'm not playing Twisted.
No Twisted.
Kidding. I'm kidding. There's Twisted stuff, plenty of Twisted. There's new stuff, which I promise you'll like, and then there's some surprises as well. And I've been told that at least one of my friends is coming to the show, a special friend. My special friend. So maybe there'll be some surprises on that end as well.
All right, and we're not going to let the cat out of the bag about that. We're just going to say a special friend will be there this Saturday.
I can't because they're so undependable. I can't.
Okay. I got you.
I don't want to promise anything.
So is Twisted Sister done, Dee? Will we ever see another show again?
You know what? I'm one of those people who express great frustration at these bands who retire and then come back. I think it's an insult to the fan, especially when you pay a premium for those shows.
Right.
Premium for the No More Tours shirt by Ozzy. I got mine. How many years ago was that? No More Tours? Come on, seriously?
Yeah, right.
The Kiss farewell tour. Farewell to Ace and Peter, I guess. I think it's insulting.
Scorpions were going on a farewell tour, and then I guess they decided they didn't want to do that.
Scorpions did 3-year farewell tour and changed their mind.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you know what? I don't want them to leave.
No.
But if you're going to announce that you are,
you better leave.
Tell us that. Then you're supposed to leave.
Yeah.
Feel free to stay forever. We love you.
Right.
We love you, Scorpions. But don't do a 3-year farewell tour and then change your mind the next day.
Exactly.
Not cool. Not cool, Scorpions. The point being, me and Twisted guys, we are of the mind, just like Motley Crue, that this really is it, and we're done. So, I have no intention of going back. I don't want to be one of those people who go back on their word. And I hope if I do, the audience, tars and feathers me and says, you know what, you're worse than the people who faked it. You made a big deal, made a stink pointing fingers at everybody, and then you came back.
Right.
So I'm doing a solo thing. Like I said, I've got so many films and projects in the works. Honestly, I just more than anything see myself completely retiring from performing on stage. So I hope people come see me and enjoy it because I still deliver the goods. And that's another thing, dude. I don't want to be that guy that people ever look up there and go, God, he used to be so good.
Yeah.
I never want people to feel that way. And if you see recent reviews, people, I'm not disappointing people. Thank God I stayed in shape. But it don't get easier, brother.
No.
It does not get easier.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm friends with Stanton, your manager there on Facebook, and it feels like I've been going on tour with you. He's got video every time you play. Where you been touring? All over the place, right? On this current tour?
I was just in Bolivia.
Yeah.
I was in Bolivia last week. And, I've just been all over. I'm headed to Wales next week in England. But We Are the Ones is coming. Tour is coming to an end. I'm actually going to the studio today to start work on my next album. Jamey Jasta from Hatebreed is producing, and I'm doing this time. I've decided to do a very aggressive metal record, a true metal record. And I start recording the album today for release next spring.
That's awesome. I was reading the article on that, and oh, wow, that's going to be an interesting project.
Yeah, Jamey, is a fan of mine, and I was on his podcast, and he literally challenged me on the air, which is always an awkward place to be challenged. Because you're kind of like, what are you going to back down?
Yeah, right.
But I didn't want to back down. He said, dude, you're iconic. I think you need to do a true metal record. Think Rob Halford's Resurrection. Think in that direction. And I go, well, what do you got in mind? He goes, dude, I will produce it. And I've got songs that I think, I've got people that are like just stumbling over each other to write a song for Dee Snider. And then he just started sending me music. The new stuff is powerful. It's great. And I'm excited about the next tour, which is, will be start next spring.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. And I do want to also mention House of Hair, of course. You've been doing the radio show. Great radio show. We run it on PDH. We've been running it for years. Saturday nights, 10 to 1. Dee Snider and the House of Hair. How long do you think you're going to keep doing House of Hair for, Dee? And how long have you been doing it so far? It's been a long time.
I've been doing House of Hair 20 years.
Wow.
20 years, over 1,000 shows. And with no sign of stopping. I'm on 220 stations in North America, going strong. And it was funny, when I started the show in the late 90s, it was 97
Yep.
we started the show, 20 years ago. And I said to my producer, what do we got, 5 or 6 years on this thing? And she looked at me, she said, are you kidding me? She goes, this is the soundtrack of a generation.
It is.
He says, and as long as those people are alive, people want to hear the music that they grew up on. So besides that, the 80s has an odd appeal that is crossing over to younger people. I've got so many younger fans because it had an attitude. I call it the middle finger factor. It had a vibe about it that those young kids aren't finding in today's music. They're not finding that party attitude, that fun attitude, that FU attitude. And so they're coming back to the 80s rock. And it's pretty cool to get emails every week from such young fans who are like, you know what, I love this music. It fires me up, and it fires me up every week.
Well, good to see you still doing that. We love it. House of Hair with Dee Snider every Saturday night at 10 here on WPDH. And don't miss the show. Dee Snider this Saturday back at the Chance with a solo show. The band kills. I've been watching footage, like I said, with Danny Stanton doing the Facebook Live and watching all the
Facebook Live if you want to check it out. But but you know what? I'm sort of kind of stepping on my own Johnson this Saturday night. I'll be on stage at the Chance while I'm on the air on PDH.
Yeah, people, turn yourself away from the radio for 1 week from Dee's show and get out and see Dee in person, for crying out loud. Dee, always a pleasure to talk with you. Looking forward to seeing you and the band this Saturday at the Chance.
Hey, thanks, Tig. I look forward to seeing you too, brother.
471-1966 for tickets, ticketweb.com, and we'll see you Saturday night.
Peace.
Saturday night.
Peace.
Saturday night.